Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Damon Wilson. I'm Executive Vice President here at the Atlantic Council, and just really delighted to be able to welcome you here today, to welcome the President of Georgia, Giorgi Margvelashvili. We're really pleased to have you here at the Council.
Thank you, Damon.
The President has been such an extraordinary, generous host of the Atlantic Council when we've been in Tbilisi, that the least we could do would be to reciprocate on your visit to Washington. We're looking forward to this conversation, looking forward to the discussion, and to building our relationship, a long-term relationship between the Atlantic Council and Georgia. I also want to acknowledge and thank the Ambassador, Ambassador Gegashidze. We have the pleasure of working with members of your delegation, members of the Atlantic Council Board of Directors, our staff that are working on these issues, across the range of issues from security to energy to regional politics. It shows the breadth of issues that impact our agenda with Georgia. You're obviously in Washington right now for the Nuclear Security Summit. In many respects, Georgia's presence at the Nuclear Security Summit underscores your strategic location. It's what we call here, what we refer to as the crossroads in terms of our programming on Georgia. Today, we look forward to talking to you about Georgia's Euro-Atlantic integration pathway, particularly in the run-up to the NATO's Warsaw Summit this July. We've just had a conversation with President Duda of Poland about that this morning. We'll be following next week with the NATO Secretary General himself when he's here in Washington, so your conversation comes at a timely occasion for that topic. And we also, second, look forward to talking about the political roadmap in Georgia itself as you face important parliamentary elections this fall. These issues are coming against a backdrop of really great challenges to Europe, uncertainty with our own election here in the United States. We see challenges from the South and the East, but also ones of internal confidence in our own institutions. And I think that's why this is relevant, because it's only when we have confidence in what our own community is that we're able to continue to build and expand that community and include Georgia in that. So everyone around the table here knows you, and we know you well at the Atlantic Council, but the President occupies an important role in Georgia. He's served as an important independent voice, often the moral conscience of the debates that take place in Georgia, speaking out at tense times to help smooth the situation, often with his good sense of humor and his incredible decency, as was just illustrated in which you may not have seen. We saw coverage of the President jumping out of his own vehicle to help come to the rescue of a pregnant woman on the streets of Tbilisi just in recent days. Elected in May 2013, President since October of that year, President Margvelashvili has been a terrific partner of the Council. We look forward to your remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Damon. This is a pleasure and privilege to be in this respected audience. And first of all, let me thank you for all the great job that you've done for the Atlantic process and for Georgia and for a country that is facing lots of challenges, a country that can bring lots of opportunities and solutions, and a country that is basically trying to bring further peace, cooperation, partnership into a very interesting and meaningful region of the continent, the Caucasus. This year actually is a year of our new independence. We 25 years since we became once again independent. And I decided to call the year a year, and at the time at which we are a period from independence to freedom, because it's one to reach independence from someone, to be freed from someone, and the other is to reach the real freedom and to reach the freedom of the societies that some of you enjoy, especially in the United States. No matter how tense is the internal politics, this is a free country, and we have this goal to become free after being independent, and with all the challenges that we have faced for these 25 years. Let me tell you that this year is very important for Georgia, that because we are facing new elections, but also because we have growing threats in the region. We have complicated situation and the environment in the region. But this is not only our region, but we have seen the terrible things that have happened in Paris, in Brussels, and in other places. We've seen what are the challenges for the humankind. What are the challenges even for the most protected and security-wise most strong military alliance and the countries in this military alliance. So at the end of the day, there are several issues. Are we ready to open our eyes and face the reality that security, even security of NATO, the countries in the alliance, is not solved without the security of other countries and the bigger security guarantees for countries like Georgia and other countries, let's say, of the Eastern Partnership. This is the reality which has been revealed in a very severe and terrible formats. This is one of the issues. The second is the issue that my country and my society and my people have very clearly chosen their way, their values, their vision, on which is linked with Euro-Atlantic as well as European process. We have been committed to these values, and we've been doing a lot to achieve these values and to achieve these targets. And as a government, as a society, as a culture, we've done a lot during these 25 years, as well as during the several recent years, to show how really we believe in NATO, in EU, and how we want to pursue that process. We think that Georgia has a very significant record in this context, and with the significant record and with a very clear vision, with no, let's say, question marks, what we are trying to do at this point is to consolidate political understanding, public opinion with our allies and friends, and show them that the solutions for many issues are in closer partnership of Georgia, Europe, and the United States. This is basically what we are doing. What we are doing in DC, what we are doing in our foreign policy, and I believe that a country that has contributed to global peace and global security, and contributed not only through political rhetorics, but with lives of their men and women fighting on the battlegrounds, securing better future, fighting for a more stable world, will finally and at some point reach the destination that they belong to. Thank you.